Um, that was like my first ever, you know, like experience with a major label, and didn't have the right representation at the time because I was just a young kid, 17 years old, going on 18. Didn't have the right representation, and there was a buzz on me, and I was uh in the Source magazine, the Unsigned Hype magazine, Source issue of 93, I believe, with Dr. Dre on the cover. November 1992 issue of the Source magazine, excuse me. And I'm in, Unsigned Hype. I had handed my demo into the Source. They liked it. They picked me for Unsigned Hype. The Unsigned Hype definitely boosted uh, awareness to the labels. You know what I mean? Because that was like the grill for hip hop at the time. The magazine was the grill for hip hop and journalism. So labels got wind of me. I started getting calls for meetings in the same building of the Source meeting. I mean, the Source building. The same building was a guy named YZ. He opened up a management called 720 Management, and Matty C, who was working at the Source at the time, was with a guy named Scott Free. Him and Scott were cool, which is Frozen Files Radio, and they basically linked me up with YZ, and we all, figured out like if they were going to manage me or not. The interest was there from Tommy Boy first to get me signed to them, and that's the label I went with. We wound up not releasing nothing on Tommy Boy for like 1 year because they didn't know what to do with me. They tried to get me producers. The beats were not really what I needed. So that deal didn't work out. I wound up getting shelved. But not really shelved because I ain't had nothing to put out. That was a deal that they gave me, but we couldn't find no real producers. So we went to Elektra afterwards. And that's when the Ghetto Girl situation came about. They gave me a demo deal. The A&R was Kim Spikes, and Sylvia Rome was head of Elektra at the time with Merlin Bob. So they called me and say, "Yeah, we'll give you a demo deal. We like your music. We'll give you a shot. We heard that Tommy Boy released you. We like to see what's good. If give me a shot." I was like, "All right, cool." I took 3 songs. One of them was Ghetto Girl. I didn't know what I made. I kind of like made it, not knowing what I was doing. Kind of like, but it felt good. And I was like, all right, damn, this kind of different because I was making hardcore music with Onyx. Right. I was running around with Onyx at the time, and we were doing a lot of like hardcore hip hop at the time. And I had a song called "Somebody's Called Faking Moves" that I wanted as my first single, which didn't wind up becoming the first single. Ghetto Girl wound up becoming the first single. So that was the commercial side, and then I felt the turning of certain angles there. Like, well, here you go, your first major commercial single. You know, you didn't really plan for this. You were just keeping it real hip hop, boom bap. Now they got you doing commercial stuff. They just slide you right in there. Right. So I'm like, damn. My hardcore fans expected me to go crazy with, now I'm over here talking about girls and all that, whoop, whoop, whoop. Either way, it wound up opening a lot of doors that I didn't realize, because when dealing with major labels, they definitely want something commercial from you. They need something to make their money back. As a company invested in an artist, they need to figure out where they're going to make the money back. And that was the record for them. So I'm like, all right, the record definitely wound up being #1 on college radio for like over 6 months, and was definitely ill to have Red Alert spin my record 15 times. DJ Red Alert, it was surreal. The first time I ever heard my songs on the radio was definitely had my whole family bugging and tripping. Right. That was probably the one thing that I was like, yeah, felt good. Like all the hard work paid off. Then the label bullshit come later on with everything, and I realized like, you know, nothing good lasts forever. You know, you can't own 100% of nothing. Meaning that I didn't know that it was gonna be that big. You know, I didn't have no clue because it was all a gamble for me at the time. And you know, as an artist, you trying to find a way to survive too. So either you get with the politics that the label set out for you, or you go against that. And you know, I wound up dealing with it for you know how long I could, and after that, I went independent. I went over, you know, went and got me an independent deal with Game Records.
Right.
And then we started doing independent releases over there, and along with Royce 5'9" and Eminem and them, Thurston Howe. You know, those guys was doing independent releases before they, you know, got any major deals. Real major money that they were making was really at the independent stage.
It's your boy Sweaty, and you're now rocking with Circle